Greetings. Welcome to another episode of High Point, Turning Point, and Endpoint. In this video, I will continue my assessment of the Jurassic Park franchise, specifically Jurassic Park III. And one part of the channel title, I do dub this film the low point of the franchise. Jurassic Park III has received a lot of, I would say, warranted criticism. Reception of the film when it first came out was not great, and it did send the franchise in somewhat of a mental hell. And it took 14 years for there to be a sequel created, and by the time the sequel to Jurassic Park came out in 2015, there was a soft reboot in a way, where the entire brand was changed to Jurassic World. So I will keep this, much like the truncated runtime of the movie, as brief as I can. And Jurassic Park III, which came out in 2001, stars Sam Neill. He returns as his role main protagonist, paleontologist Dr. Alan Grant. And the plot's pretty simple. Grant and his assistant Billy are recruited by parents Kirby, Amanda, and Paul Kirby for a tour of the island, of the dinosaur island. And of course, Grant refuses. There's nothing, of course, in the world that would ever convince him to go back to a dinosaur-filled island. The Kirbys, of course, then uses one weakness, which is money. And unbeknownst to him and Billy, the tour is just a ruse. The couple just wants to try to rescue their son who's stranded on the island. The tour is just an excuse to get Dr. Grant to come and guide them and try to help them navigate. Of course, the island in question is Isla Sorna, which Dr. Grant has never actually been to, so he's not probably the best choice. And they are trying to, of course, rescue their son, Eric. And like I said, it's a very short, very simple plot. Normally I do appreciate that, but I do feel like Jurassic Park 3, it's very much like a sprint to finish line. It's quick, there's not much to it. They're on the island, all of a sudden they're in danger, their plane is destroyed, and they're trying to survive for the next hour or so. And that's pretty much it. The characters, though, there's only a handful of main characters. Dr. Grant has not lost a step. He's still great, probably the best thing about the film. And he's the only thing that gives the rescue team any chance of survival. His assistant, Billy, is amicable enough, and he tries to, I would say he's both brave and brash. Of course, he's like a younger character. Unwisely, though, he does snag a few raptor eggs and hides them in his backpack. And once Grant finds out, he basically compares Billy to the immoral scientists who work for InGen. Of course, then Billy seemingly sacrificed himself to save Eric later on in the film. Eric, in my opinion, is probably the most capable and least annoying of all of the younger characters in the franchise, all of the adolescent characters. And then Paul and Amanda Kirby are his parents, and they're pretty insufferable. They might be the worst. They're so bad they almost make me miss Sarah Harding, almost. Then there are a few mercenaries with them on the rescue team. Plain simply, they're there just to die. Ellie Sattler does have a couple cameos, or a much smaller role. She's married to some guy not named Dr. Grant, and she does kind of redeem herself at the end of the film and sends in the military to rescue Grant and the rest of the rescue team. The dinosaurs, I would say, are pretty great all in all, but really breaks down to three main groups. The new dinosaurs, the pterodons, are like the tertiary threat or bad guys. The secondary threat, I would say, are the raptors, which the group or pack of raptors tends to stalk the group throughout the film because we find out Billy stole their eggs. So they follow the group around the island and, try to ambush them several times to get those eggs back. And the main antagonist is the Spinosaurus. It's aggressive, it's powerful, fast, kind of eerily sneaky too. The best scene I would say in the film is when the Spino sneaks up on the rescue team and the cell phone jingle plays, and it's just standing there watching them. I would say it's also great because it brings up a little bit of a mystery, sense of mystery. When they first encounter Grant and Billy are trying to discuss, what type of dinosaur is it? Is it Super Suchomimus? They just can't quite classify the creature, and it does add to the aura of mystery for Jurassic Park 3, and which is important because I'm not really sure there is a very strong theme for this film. It does lightly touch or retread the themes from the past movies about morality of genetic experimentation and InGen's attempt to play God. They do bring it up when they find the abandoned laboratory. And that aura of mystery is really what kind of drives the film. Like, what was done on Site B, what type of experiments, what type of dinosaurs, a lot of these questions as mysteries are never really addressed, and we end up with more question marks than answers. But I think that is one of the strongest parts of Jurassic Park 3 is the fact there are so many mysteries that it asks questions and we just don't know the answers. Of course, the biggest one being the Spinosaurus. How did it get there, and who created it, and why was it left on the island? But in conclusion, I gotta say it has a short runtime, an overly simple plot, which in this case is to its detriment. There's not a lot to this film, and once it did come out, it was definitely a low point in the franchise. It took 14 years, like I said, for another sequel to be released, and when they did, they had to rebrand the franchise from Jurassic Park to Jurassic World. This film, while I like it, while it has many fans, is certainly the weakest of the original three, and that is why I consider it the low point of the Jurassic Park franchise. And still, though, it's not quite the end point. Even though it is the lowest point and put this franchise on hiatus, it did not quite end the franchise. In the next video, I will discuss how Jurassic Park was still able to reinvent itself. So, Jurassic Park 3, still a good film, still a worthy addition, just not the best sequel to the original Jurassic Park. Thank you again for listening to another episode of High Point, Turning Point, and Endpoint.